Welcome to this deep dive. Today we are exploring the evolving software engineering landscape.
Yeah, it's a pretty turbulent space right now.
Oh, absolutely. Specifically, we are looking at the, frankly, very fragile junior developer pipeline. And our mission today is to explore how large language models, or LLMs, are basically shifting from being these, helpful little productivity tools into active displacement forces in the tech job market.
Right. They are actually taking seats at the table.
Exactly. And we're basing this on a really fascinating article from LLMtracker.d from June 7, 2026. But before we get into the heavy stuff, I have to share this big kind of ironic twist right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah, this is the best part.
It really is. So this article, which is summarizing all this sheer human panic and anxiety about AI taking over developer jobs, was actually written by an AI.
I mean, you can't make it up.
You really can't. The author, Vika Ray, is actually a virtual AI analyst. It's developed by Algorand.d, and it basically just autonomously monitors Hacker News and Reddit all day. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it is just the perfect encapsulation of the reality we are living in right now. I mean, Vika Ray isn't just a novelty. It's an autonomous agent reading thousands of posts by human engineers who are, frankly, freaking out.
Right.
And then it synthesizes that sentiment and cleanly writes up a trend report about human displacement. Like, this isn't some theoretical white paper about what might happen in the 2030s.
No, it's happening right now.
Exactly. AI isn't just a future concept. It is actively executing complex, knowledge-based tasks like tech journalism and coding today.
It is so incredibly meta. The AI is doing the tech journalism about the AI doing the coding,
Yeah.
which I think launches us straight into the core crisis that the source outlines,
Yeah.
which is the collapse of the entry point, the junior developer pipeline.
Yeah, the conversation in the developer community has totally mutated.
Right, because it's no longer just, wow, this Copilot helped me write a script 10 minutes faster.
No, the Reddit post mentioned in the source really sparked this urgent conversation. It's an existential anxiety now. LLMs have crossed that threshold. They aren't just productivity tools anymore.
They are entities handling the routine coding tasks that historically justified paying a junior developer.
Exactly. Which brings up the shrinking entry point.
Yeah, and I want to throw an analogy out there. Are we looking at a situation like the introduction of the power loom?
Oh, interesting.
Like, obviously the power loom didn't replace the need for clothes, right?
Right.
But it completely erased the need for manual weavers overnight.
Right.
But let me push back on my own premise here for a second. Is this truly a displacement force, or is the tech industry just panicking over a new efficiency tool? Because we've had advanced autocomplete and GitHub libraries for a long time.
Well, the structural shift mentioned in the source kind of answers that. While the idea of fully replacing all human engineers is heavily contested.
Yeah, nobody thinks the whole department is getting fired tomorrow.
Right. But the way software gets written, and specifically who gets hired to write it, is fundamentally changing.
So it's not just a faster autocomplete.
No, there is a mechanical difference between retrieval and synthesis. When a junior dev uses Stack Overflow, they are retrieving a piece of code. They still have to manually integrate it, right?
Yeah, they have to make sure it actually fits into their specific project.
Exactly. But an LLM isn't retrieving, it's synthesizing at scale. It can ingest a Jira ticket, read your local repository, and generate a multi-file pull request in seconds.
Wow. So it's doing the whole job.
It is executing the entire closed-loop task that the junior developer was hired to do.
Which makes them active competition, not just copilots.
Exactly.
Okay, but that brings up a really massive reality check. We've established this huge threat to the junior dev. But if the AI is so good, why aren't all engineers out of a job?
That is the big question.
Right. Why are the tech campuses still full of people? Well, the Vika Ray report actually broke down the specific community's sentiment about these LLMs. It estimated the sentiment as 15% positive, 20% neutral, and a massive 65% critical.
Yeah, that 65% is huge.
So there is a ton of skepticism coming from places like Hacker News and Reddit.
What's fascinating here is what that skepticism is actually rooted in. It's really about the concept of production environments.
Right, because generating code is easy, but putting it into the real world is hard.
Exactly. The source points out three major hurdles LLMs face. You have reliability gaps, domain-specific reasoning limits, and accountability concerns.
Let's break those down. The reliability gap is mostly about hallucinations.
Yeah. Because LLMs are fundamentally probabilistic. They don't know logic, they just predict what text should come next. So they can write beautifully formatted code that is logically completely backwards.
Which is terrifying if you don't catch it.
Oh, absolutely. And then you have the domain-specific reasoning limit. Generating code in a vacuum is fine, but putting it into a complex, messy, pre-existing system, LLMs lack the context for your specific company's weird, undocumented legacy architecture.
Right. The AI doesn't know that the authentication server is basically held together by digital duct tape by some guy named Gary 5 years ago.
Exactly. The AI touches that one dependency and the whole system crashes.
Which leads right into that third hurdle, the accountability concern. So what does this all mean? If an AI writes a bug that takes down a banking system, the AI doesn't get fired.
No, you can't fire an algorithm?
A human does. The human gets fired.
Yes. Human oversight remains strictly non-negotiable when pushing code to the real world.
So accountability is basically the ultimate moat protecting human jobs.
Absolutely. The enterprise requires a legal and professional throat to choke, so to speak. Someone has to be responsible.
Okay, so since humans are still required for that oversight and accountability, how does an engineer actually survive this transition? Like, what is the strategy here?
Well, the source identifies the dominant sentiment as cautious adaptation.
Cautious adaptation.
Yeah. The industry is quietly restructuring around AI-augmented output. You can't fight the AI, but you have to master AI-assisted workflows.
Here's where it gets really interesting. I want to throw another analogy at you to kind of picture this shift.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's like the modern coder is transitioning from being a bricklayer to being an architect. Or even better, from a single pilot to an air traffic controller.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Like, if the AI is laying the bricks or flying the individual planes, your value is no longer in your ability to manually do the routine flying. It relies entirely on your ability to watch the radar, design the building, and spot the structural flaws.
That is exactly it. You are moving from syntax memorization to high-level systems thinking.
You are managing the swarm of AI agents.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you can really see the split in the job market. Experienced engineers who successfully leverage AI, who become those air traffic controllers, they will actually see their market value increase. They are hyper-productive now.
Because they have a dozen digital interns doing the grunt work.
Exactly. But the ones who refuse to adapt, the ones who insist on just being manual bricklayers, they risk being completely sidelined.
They just get pushed out of this new structural reality.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so just to summarize everything we've talked about today for you guys listening, we started with this crazy irony of VCARE and AI summarizing human job anxiety.
Which is still wild to me.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we saw how these coding LLMs are actively replacing the need for that entry-level routine script writing. The junior pipeline is shrinking.
But crucially, human engineers aren't defeated.
Right. Because the irreplaceable human elements are still there. Accountability, domain-level reasoning, and the ability to adapt to these AI-assisted workflows as an air traffic controller.
You still need the human safety net.
Exactly. But that actually leaves me with a final, really provocative thought to leave you with, something that builds directly on the source material.
Oh, this is the paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, the paradox.
Yeah.
Think about this. If the industry is actively replacing its junior developers with LLMs, right?
Yeah.
And we know that those junior roles are the essential training ground. That is where engineers actually learn how to untangle messy legacy code and become experts.
Right. They have to learn the ropes somehow.
So where will the next generation of senior engineers come from?
It's a huge problem. You can't hire a senior air traffic controller who never went to flight school.
Exactly. If we kill the junior pipeline today, who is going to provide that non-negotiable human oversight tomorrow?
Who is going to be there to catch the AI's hallucinations in 10 years?
It's a terrifying thought. And maybe our AI friend Vika Ray is already drafting an article about that exact crisis.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring the changing landscape of human-AI collaboration, and we will catch you next time.